Hi guys, hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you've had a sensational day. Okay, I've got two words for you. Goal setting. What I hear you say as a parent, how do I have the time? How, why, and when can I make that happen? I hear you thinking those and saying those things when I say the word goal setting, but you know, the goal setting itself is actually highly beneficial and it's not as painful as actual people think. In all, the pros really outweigh the cons. You know, I guess when we look at goal setting from a different perspective, and when we really understand the reason why we're setting the goal, and you know, focus on setting them, and when we're really, I guess, crystal clear on what the outcome is, it's a lot easier for us, I guess, to stick to the goal and achieve it in the end. So we're going to be talking to a special guest, and I'm just going to invite her into the screen, so hang on for 1 second. Oh, let me just invite her into the screen. So I'm bringing Green, and she is one of our partners here at Kittypedia. Susan,
Hi.
Susan.
Hello.
I was just giving you a little bit of an introduction, just saying that you're one of our partners and you're the mastermind behind Mummy to Twins Plus One.
Thank you.
I was just going through a bit of an introduction about goal setting and explaining that, I guess, as a parents think to themselves, well, how, why, and when can I make time for goal setting? But I was just doing a little bit of an introduction saying that I guess when you understand the reason and the purpose behind the goal and what the outcome is and how it's going to help you as a person and or what, you know, what the major benefit in the goal itself is, we're much more likely to stick to that goal and see it right through. So from that perspective, and this is sort of, I guess, the title and the concept behind your blog from this month. So everybody watching, we published Susan's article earlier on in the month, and the title is A Busy Mum's Guide to New Year Goals. So for anyone that doesn't know you and your background and that sort of stuff, give us a little bit of introduction into you, your busy life, and the article, and I guess why you wrote it and what it's all about, and then we'll just get stuck into the questions.
Okay. Well, I have twins, obviously, mummy to twins, and then plus one. So my twins are 10. They'll be 11 in September, and my little boy just turned 3 in January. So basically 3 kids, life, and everything else is very busy. And then blog and anything else that you throw at after school, holidays, everything, it just gets hectic. So basically, I was sitting down thinking of what to write, and I was thinking about all the things that I didn't achieve last year and all the things that I was really depressed about, because I was like, oh, great, new year, new goals. What am I going to do about that? So I was really getting quite annoyed at myself. And then I thought, well, I shouldn't be annoyed, because realistically, I did try to do too much, which I suppose a lot of people do. You put grand ideas, expectations on yourself, and you do too much. So, and then when you don't get anything of those goals organized, you basically get depressed. So that was me thinking I can't get anything done. So then I thought, well, what could I do to make this year more achievable? So that was the whole idea about the post, the article. And then I thought, well, it could be like deemed the lazy person's or the lazy woman's or the busy mum's guide to getting goals done or anything done, really. So in relationship to the goals is like, what do you want to achieve? Like what you were saying in your introduction. And then it was then trying to figure out what time do you have to achieve those goals. So you've got to be realistic with your time frame. So what I was saying, like previously to you, was if your free time is only like an hour a day, you need to maximize that hour a day and not beat yourself up about all the other things you can't do. Just deal with the hour.
Yeah. And I think, you know, goal setting is something that we really can lose focus on when we're busy and tired and running a household and looking after kids and working and everything else, like you were saying. But I think, and you mentioned this in the article also, when you write your goals down, I guess that creates some form of energy too, I think, because thoughts are things, and what we focus on in life, I guess we experience. So I think it's very cathartic to be able to at least articulate what it is you actually want to achieve. And I think when you write them down, and once you write that down, it's almost like it's got an energy of itself. It's just like you put it out there. So I want to achieve this, and I think these types of things can help as well. Or have you found that in the past?
Yeah, I have, and I have found it was interesting when I pared back, just to not freak myself out about what I'm not achieving, and then just focus on the little thing that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I was getting happier with that. So that was then made me want to do more.
Yeah. What I got out of the article, I know we've got the 3 questions we're going to go into, but tell me if this is what your intent was for the article. But what I got out of it really is quite simple. It's just about taking small steps towards the goal. When you consistently sort of chunk it down and consistently work towards the goal, and like you said, you just think you've only got an hour a day, I just work on small goals an hour a day. Consistently work on it bit by bit, and you can review your progress along the way. You actually get yourself a lot closer than sort of, as we do beat ourselves up. So it's about taking small steps, about consistently working towards it, and about reviewing progress. I've sort of found it myself when working in goal setting. I found that was behind the article.
Mm-hmm. Basically, yeah, it was just trying to make sure that you were slowly, in small steps, doing something that was leading you towards your goal, but obviously not overwhelming yourself and not then depressing yourself by not able to do it all at once. Because if you then, it's like going to the gym. You get this burst, you go to the gym and you do all the exercises, and then you're in pain, and then you can't go back, and then you don't exercise.
Yes.
So it's very
yeah.
So it's very similar to that.
The same concept, working towards stuff. Well, let's get stuck into the questions. So question number 1 we've got for you tonight, Susan, is how do I not get upset about unachieved goals from last year?
Well, I think you've just got to write all the stuff down that you really wanted to do that were more important than everything else. Look at why you didn't achieve them in the year. Like, just sit down and just close your eyes and have an overview of what happened. You might have had a disaster. There might have been a death in the family. There could have been something really bad happen and you just couldn't do something, or you could just have been overwhelmed by everything and really not being able to do it.
So you need to find the reason why you didn't achieve goals.
Yeah, well, I did that myself. I sat down and thought, well, why couldn't I do a lot of these things? And a lot of them was the factors. I did do a lot. I put a lot on my list. And then that leads me to my next point, like for the other question, is how you then make the time, like how you look at your time that you've got allocated in your life to then, once you've understood that these are your goals that you would like to achieve, how do they then get done in the time allocated that you have free? So you might think, oh, well, the kids are at school, I can then do X, Y, Z. But you might go to the shops, you might get the shopping, you might then come home, put it all away, you might clean the kitchen, you might do the bathroom, you might change the sheets, and then you look up, have lunch, then look up, think, oh gosh, I've got half an hour to do something, and then you think, oh, I can't be stuffed, and then you watch telly, and then you go and pick them up. And then the whole cycle goes back, because then you've got them after school, they might have after school activities, you come home, you do dinner, you sit on the lounge because you've been running around all day like a mad woman. And then you sit down and you might have a drink of wine and then fall asleep. And then you get annoyed at yourself that you haven't done anything. But in a way you have, so And then what you could do is once you've done all the other stuff, that you could sit down and think, okay, well, I've done all that today. I might sit down tomorrow with my 1 hour and then do the things that I wanted to do yesterday, or something to make me feel good about me, rather than race around and just do all the menial stuff.
Yeah.
And
I guess the whole reason we set goals is like in the fact that generally it's usually because we're not actually where we want to be, or there's something that we're not happy with in the fact that we want to be achieving more or doing more. So I've always found in my experience, knowing the reason why you're setting the goal and what you'll achieve and how you'll do it is the biggest thing. So just having that structure, why you're setting the goal, what you want to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, and how long you've got to do it. Like you said, even if it's an hour a day, and then just from that perspective, you have to really have that diligence behind you to be able to, really be quite strict on yourself, I guess. Have you found that?
I've been trying to be more strict. Unfortunately, it's very difficult because I do like watching television. So I think that's one of my things I need to cut back on. Maybe just do a show after dinner, like while dinner, and then maybe get stuck into doing something and then go to bed. Because the thing is, then you get addicted and you want to see what else is happening next. And then you think, oh, I'll just watch the next show and the next show and the next show. And then before you know it, like the whole evening's gone. And then you're just like back.
The whole, like you said,
that's it.
And you're just like, well, what did I achieve? So it is a really good time, I think. We're still in January. Tomorrow's the last day of January, but we still have the opportunity to be able to set the goals of what we want to achieve for the year, which is sticking to that formula that I was saying before about, why do we want to achieve it, how we're going to achieve it, all that sort of stuff. I think is really, really important to do. Let's get stuck into the second question. A new year is a new chance to do projects just for you. Tell us why you say just to pick 3.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I thought to pick 3 is because it's not going to be overwhelming. It means it's more achievable. You can pick 3 different things. And also I said that without really thinking about it, but also I was reading a book a while back called Just Pick 3. And it was by Randy Zuckerberg, which is Mark Zuckerberg's sister. And she is very successful in her own right. She has created books and she's got a whole media industry behind her. But her book is written as a busy mum as well. And basically she says, well, you can't do everything. And then, as I said, I said that without even thinking about it. But obviously the book has, come into my being. And she suggests you've got all these areas that you can pick from. So you've got work, you've got home, you've got health, you've got friends, you've got all these different areas to pick from. So you can pick 3. So she reckons you can pick 3 of something different each day because you can't do everything as a busy person. So if something's not on your pick 3 list for that day, you just don't do it. Or you then prioritize the next day and you do another 3. So you might exercise one day, you might spend more time with family one day, you might do heaps of work the other day, or vice versa. Or you might then decide the other day you might go out with friends. So the whole idea of my suggestion is to just pick 3 things for the entire year. And you might decide, oh, I might want to lose weight or tone up or just be healthier. Or you might decide I might want to do a course. I might want to meet more people. I might just want to read a book and read more books. Sorry. You might want to read more books. So with your free time, you might decide you could actually read a book without everybody screaming or you having to break up a fight, for example. So it might actually be really nice and pleasant. You could sit there with a cup of tea or something and read a book or watch a show, or you might want to catch up on what everybody's seen.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Tony Robbins, and this is how crazy I get with my goal setting. This is my little manifestation thing that I do every day. I'm too excited. But the first thing I have at the top, I've got 3 things that I'm grateful for, and
3 things.
3. And
yes,
and
magic.
It's very easy when you break it down because 3 things to be grateful for every day, and it's got to be different things. But there's 3 things to achieve, and I think once you achieve, if you sort of get, and it's one of those things
Mm-hmm.
I look at that myself, even just the way that I look at media. I mean, I'm actually no one special. I'm someone that just wants to make a difference. I'm someone
Yeah.
with a big heart that actually, all I want to do is just, leave a legacy and actually make a difference in the world. But you can only do things when you actually sort of break them down. So you're absolutely
That's
right.
true. Yeah.
You do have to pick three, and it's a really good thing to pick three a day,
Mm-hmm.
and do those things first. So when you
Mm.
them, do the hardest task first, because then you feel accomplished. You actually feel like,
That's
what?
true.
But
Yeah.
absolutely, three things. I mean, I'm a little bit crazy because my to-do list and my things like.
I can't read it from here. Yeah.
That's okay. It's all a bit big manifestation stuff and visualization, but absolutely, three things you have to choose them per day, and from that perspective, it's not overwhelming, and that's what you're trying
That's
to say.
true. Yeah, it's achievable because you don't want to get yourselves down in a dump and then get miserable and then get depressed and then it
Yep.
just goes the other way.
Awesome point. So just pick 3 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think pick three a day or three throughout the year? Three per
Well,
quarter?
you could do either or. I mean, it's up to you. It depends on what you want to, how you want to structure it. I mean, it's up to you, really.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. To pick threes, it's whatever you
Mm-hmm.
pick is achievable. Set the time frame. If it's that big, chunk
Mm-hmm.
it down. But then you feel,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And the more you
Thank you.
achieve, the more you want. It's addictive, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, that's it. Well, it is,
Yeah.
and it's also too. It powers you on because you can see that you've done something, no matter how small it might be. You think, oh, well, okay, well, I feel good now. I've done that because I'm not just their mum or I'm not just somebody else. I can do other things, or like I'm doing more than this. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and then it means then you grow on that and you keep on moving it forward and forward and forward, and then, as you said, it becomes a bigger goal.
Yep. Girlfriend, you're 100% right. Smack on the money there. So question number 3: how can we
Mm-hmm.
analyze our time and what we have available? And as a parent, and with you said you've got 3 kids and everything else. You've got the household. You've got meals. You've got school pickup. Everything else. How can you analyze your time and what you have available?
Well, what you need to do is look at your weeks. And then, for example, if you've got school drop off and pick up, if you're doing that, what time do you need to be there? How long does it take you normally to get back and forth? And then if you've got other things to do during the week, like for example, if you do your shopping, you might not do that. You might have it delivered. You might do an online shop. You might go and visit people. You might actually spend a morning quickly having coffee, having a catch up with somebody, and then you might come home, do something. And then so all those little things, like the shops, the laundry, all these extra little bits and pieces get taken away from your time. It still needs to be done, but it's not the time that you would like to spend on your little pet projects. So you need to take all that away from the time, because you don't have a day when the kids are at school, because your day is not a day at school, because you still got to, as I said, you still got to pick them up and drop them off. And then if they've got after school activities, you've still got to take them there, drop them home, do that, look after them, be there for them, etc. So you've got to factor all those extra things in, events, everything. So
Yep.
you do that, and then what you do is you come out. You could do it. You could be really really anal about it, and you could do an Excel spreadsheet, and then you could do all the time, and then you could pop out with a number if you want to, or you could just sit down and think, okay, well that takes me an hour, and so therefore I might have an hour a day, or once I do all that on a Monday, I might have 2 or 3 hours on the Tuesday. And then I might have, so you can do all that, and then it adds up during the week. So then you can prioritize, well, I'll do this on the Mondays, and then I'll do this stuff on Tuesdays, and then, you can then think about what you want to do. And then if you have a child that's not going to school and they're not in care on one day, it means obviously that day you can't get anything done. So that day is a write-off. For example, that day for me is Thursdays. So Thursdays is just pointless.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we've only got so many hours in the day. When you've got so much to do, the best way to do it is to live by your calendar from that perspective. If it's an Excel spreadsheet or what it is. But then as you just said, then you know where your pockets of time are. it
Yeah.
may just be you may have 2 hours on a Monday, then you've got, I've got this time there, and then I've got 1 hour on a Tuesday, but I've got 2 hours again on a Wednesday, whatever it is that you were saying before. But unless
Yeah.
you plan it out that way, you're not going to be able to understand how much time you have available.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm completely thinking out of the box right now, but would it be fair to say if you, that would probably be the exercise that you would start with first, to say, how much time do I have available? And then work backwards from there. Well, what is achievable? If I'm going to choose 3 things for this quarter, or 3 things until June, and then you can sort of then, as I say, chunk it down, because you've got a big goal, and then you can sort of break that down to say, okay, I'm going to work on that goal on a Monday, that goal on a Tuesday, that goal on a Wednesday.
But that's a good idea, work backwards, because there's no point taking on something that you don't have time to do, because then it leads you back into the, I haven't achieved anything.
Yeah.
And then you're back again at square one.
It's just a great feeling when you do achieve. And I think
that's true.
You have to really, if you want to be committed to achieving, I think these are some ideas that definitely can help parents out there to
but it's also too a small step. It's like really small little steps to get where you want to get to. So it doesn't need to happen immediately. And I know sometimes it's frustrating because you'd like to just get it now, like everything. But for people in, I suppose, my situation that have 3 children who are basically the sole carer for everybody, you can't just do that, because you've got to be there for people, and then you've got to look after everybody, and then you've got to think about, okay, well, how can I do this in a way that means that everybody is happy and I get what I want too? So you can sort of try to get all that done. Yeah. So I think that would be and also too, it keeps mummy happy.
So, so I guess the main takeaways, I guess, from the article and what we've chatted tonight, I mean, if you sort of know at the end of the day what is the purpose and what you want out of it, always work. I'm one of those people, I work to what my end goal is. I always focus on the fact of what's going to happen when I achieve and how I'm going to feel when I achieve it. So if we know that, if we then work, I guess, from our calendar to say, well, this is how much time I've got allotted in between school drop-offs and pick-ups and dropping off kids to soccer practice or dancing or whatever it is, you know where your pockets of time are, and then you have to be really committed to achieving whatever goals you're setting for yourself in that time frame. But once again, then you get to the end of the time frame, if it's a month, if it's 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, you can look back and it's really great when you do achieve things and go, you know what, and then you can sit down and have a nice glass of wine and toast yourself and say,
very true.
So I mean, thank you so much for writing this article and prompting, I guess, the concept of goal setting for parents, because it's one thing, it's easy enough, I guess, people in business and but when you're, as you said, when you're the sole carer and you're looking after the lives of other people, we have to put them first, but at the same time we can't pour from an empty cup, so we have to make sure
that's true.
After us too. So awesome idea for the blog.
Thank you. Thank you.
Always, it's awesome chatting with you, Susan, and
thank you.
To you soon.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I will do. Thanks, Rachel. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.